Hello, I am Diksha Soni from MTech 5th SEM IIPS DAVV. I am going to represent the video lecture on interpolation, simultaneous equations and differentiation. Here we have some questions regarding these topics and we are going to solve these questions. First of all, let us start with the very first question. The very first question here we can see is have a table having 5 points and just corresponding function values. The points are 0.25, 0.26, 0.27, 0.28, 0.29 and their corresponding values as we can see in the table. Now find df by dx at x3 and d square f by dx square at x1. So to find this value, let us take the interpolating polynomial. Here in the equation 8.1 we can see the equation representing the interpolating polynomial f of x is equals to this. Now to find the differentiation, we will first differentiate this equation. After differentiating this equation 8.1, we get the equation 8.2. df by dx is equals to del f1 upon h plus del square f1 upon factorial 2 h square x minus x1 plus x minus x2. So to find the differentiation of this function f of x at any point, whether it is x1, x2, x3, we will just replace the value of x, we will just replace the x with x1 or x2 or x3 corresponding to the point which we have to find this. So here, since we have to find df by dx at x3, we will replace x with x3, that is by putting x into x3 in equation 8.2, we get df by dx at x3 is equals to del f1 upon h plus del square f1 upon 2h square into 2x3 minus x1 minus x2. So we finally get df by dx at the point x3 is equals to f1 minus 4f2 plus 3f3 upon 2h. Now before finding out this, we will draw the forward difference table. So here we can see the forward difference table where the value of angle and the corresponding sine values are given. After that, we have find the del f by subtracting the successive value of sine with the predecessor. So we find del f, and in the same way we have find del square f. Now df by dx at x3 is equals to 0.2474, that is f1, this the function value corresponding to the point x1, minus 0.2571 into 4 plus 3 into 0.2667 upon 2 into 0.01. Finally, after calculating this, we got df by dx at the point x3, that is at point 2.27 is equals to 0.9550. So finally we got the answer of differentiating the function at point x3 is 0.9550. Moving on to next, we have to find the value d square f by dx square at point x1. So from the equation 8.1 that we have seen before is we will differentiate this again to find d square f by dx square. So after differentiating that equation 8.1, we got del square f1 upon factorial 2 h square into 2. Finally, we got the equation as d square f upon dx square is equals to f3 minus 2f2 plus f1 upon h square. Here we can see that the double differentiation of the function is independent of the x. So for any value of x, the double differentiation will be the constant. So to find the value of differentiating, that is d square f upon dx square at x1 is equals to 0.2667, that is f3 minus 2 into 0.2571 plus 0.2474 upon 0.01 ka square. After calculating this expression, we get d square f upon dx square at point x1 is equals to minus 1. So finally we got the answer as minus 1. This is what the first question is. Now move on to the question number second. The question number 2 is to integrate the function tabulated below using Simpson's rule. Here we have the question where there are some points x minus 0.6, 0.5 and so on, and the function value corresponding to the points 4, 2, 3, 8, 4 and so on. Here, first of all, we can observe that the function is tabulated at 10 points. Simpson's rule requires an odd number of points. So, we will use trapezoidal rule for the first 2 points and Simpson's rule for the rest. So, integrating the function f of x dx within the range minus 0.6 to 0.2 is equals to h by 2, 4 plus 2, that is the 2 points for the trapezoidal rule, and plus h by 3 and the rest of the points. These are using Simpson's rule. Now, the final calculation of this expression will be 0.1 upon 2 into 6 plus 0.1 upon 3 into 84. The final answer is 3.1. So, the integration of the function f of x dx within the range minus 0.6 to 0.3 is equals to 3.1. Note that we have used here trapezoidal rule and Simpson's rule both. Coming on to next question. Here, the question number 3. The population of a city in a census taken once in 10 years is given below. Estimate the population in years 1925, 1975, 1984. Here we have to find the population within at some point within the given intervals, and we are given a table here. The table represents the years with a difference of 10 and the population in 1000. We are given the years 1921, 1931 and so on, and the corresponding population, that is 35,000, 42,000, 58,000, 84,000 and so on. So first of all, to find the population at these years, we will draw the difference table. So the difference table here is year, corresponding population, and the del f, that is the difference subtraction between the successive function and the preceding function, that is 7. 42 minus 35, that is 7. And in the same way we have find del f, then del square f, then del cube f. Now here we can see that the value of del cube f is somewhere close to 1 or 0. So if del cube f is nearly 0, we can fit a quadratic and use only up to second differences. 1925 is near the top of the table and use the forward difference table. Here we can see that the year 1925 is at the top of the table, so we can use the forward difference formula. The forward difference formula is as follows: f of x is equals to f1 plus del f1 upon h into x minus x1 plus del square f1 upon 2h square x minus x1 x minus x2. After solving this, we get f1 plus del f1 u plus del square f1 upon 2 u into u minus 1. Okay, here we can see that we have put u x minus x1 is equals to u h. As x1 is equals to 1921, here x1 is the point preceding the point at which we have to find the population, that is 1921 is the point preceding 1925. H is equals to 10 as given, and x is equals to 1925, the point at which we have to find the population of the city. Therefore, after putting these three values in this equation, x minus x1 is equals to uh, we find u as 0.4. After that, putting the value of u in this equation, we get f of 1925 is equals to 35, that is f1 plus 7, that is del f1 upon h x minus x1 is equal into 0.4 and so on. Corresponding values have been put, and finally we got the answer as 36.7, which is equivalent to 37. So the population of the city in year 1925 is find out as 36.7 or 37,000. Now next we have to find the population of the city in the year 1975. Since 1975 is near the end of the table and thus we use the backward difference formula. The backward difference formula is as follows. F of x is equals to f7 plus nabla f of 7 upon h. Here we have used nabla operator instead of del. X minus x7 plus del square f7 upon 2h square, and so on. F of x finally got as f7 plus nabla f7u plus nabla square f7 upon 2u into u plus 1, as uh is equals to x minus x7. U is equals to 1975 minus 1981 upon 10 is equals to minus 0.6. We have put this value, we have got u from this equation. Now putting all the values in this equation, we get f of 1975 is equals to 220, that is f7, plus 55 into minus 0.6 plus 10 by 2 minus 0.6 into minus 0.6 plus 1. So f of 1975 is equals to 195.8, which is equivalent to 196. So finally the population of the city in the year 1975 comes to be 1,96,000. The year 1984 is outside the table of values, thus we cannot interpolate. So the population of the city in the year 1984 cannot be calculated from the given table. Moving on to next question, we have solve the following set of equations using Gauss-Seidel method. Here we have three equations: 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 2x3 is equals to 15, 2x1 plus x2 plus 2x3 is equals to minus 5, 4x1 plus x2 minus 2x3 is equals to 0. So we will solve these equations here. Coefficient matrix of the given system of equation is A is equals to 2, 4, 2, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, minus 2, which is not a diagonally dominant. Now, however, it can be made diagonally dominant by changing the rows, as we have changed the row R1 with R3 and R2 with R1, as we can see from this. Now, hence the corresponding system of equations are 4x1 plus x2 minus 2x3 is equals to 0, 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 2x3 is equals to 15, 2x1 plus x2 plus 2x3 is equals to minus 5. The above system of equations can be rewritten as x1 is equals to this expression, x2 is equals to this, and x3 is equals to this. Now, we will start the loop. The first iteration, that is I is equals to 1, will put x2 is equals to 0, x3 is equals to 0 in 1. So from there, here we get x1 is also equals to 0. Again, putting x1 is equals to 0 and x3 is equals to 0 in 2, we get x2 is equals to 3.75 from here. And now putting x1 is equals to 0 and x2 is equals to 3.75 in equation number 3, we get x3 is equals to minus 4.375. So this is what the first iteration is. Now, second iteration, that is I is equals to 2. Here we have put x2 is equals to 3.75 and x3 is equals to minus 4.37. These are the values coming from the previous loop, that is preceding iteration. In equation 1, we get x1 is equals to minus 3.125. Again, putting x1 and x3 coming from the previous loop, we get x2 is equals to 7.5. In the same way, we'll put the values of x1 and x2 in equation 3. We will get the value of x3. In the same way, we will proceed with the third iteration, I is equals to 3. Putting x2 and x3 getting from the previous loop, we will get the value of x1. Again, putting the value of x1 and x3 in equation 2, we get x2, and putting x1 and x2 in equation 3, we get x3. So finally, we get the values of x1, x2 and x3 from the third iteration. Here the iteration table is as follows. I1 has the value of x1 is equal to 0, x2 is equal to 3.75 and x3 is equal to minus 4.375. I2 has these values, I3 has these values, I4 has these values, and in the same way I is equal to 8 has these values. So finally we got the values of x1, x2 and x3 is equal to minus 3.06, x2 is equal to 6.67 and x3 is equal to minus 2.77. This process or this algorithm which we used here to solve this system of equations is Gauss-Seidel method, where we have the 3 iterations, and in the first iteration we have put the values of x1, x2 and x3 is equals to 0. So this is what the Gauss-Seidel method is. Finally, we have solved all the equations, all the 4 equations we have given. So I hope you get it and it will be useful for you in the future. Thank you so much.